Hey guys, Dr. Frank here, founder of AddictionMindset recovery coaching programs, where we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and a whole host of other addictions. If you're addicted or if you're in recovery or looking to get sober, we can probably help. In today's brief video, I want to take a minute and talk about the number one reason why I quit using nicotine products. And for those of you that haven't watched my previous videos, I started using nicotine products in high school. It was initially with chewing tobacco, and then eventually I started to vape because I thought I could use vaping to quit chewing tobacco. In between, I smoked cigars. I used to smoke blunts. I used to smoke Camel cigarettes, Marlboro cigarettes, any type of nicotine in any form. Chances are I've consumed it, including Nicorette gum, Nicorette patches, and even Pixatine nicotine-based toothpicks and things like that to help me try and quit. So in today's video, I want to talk about the number one reason why you should quit nicotine. The number one reason why you should quit nicotine, and I'm going to tell you right now, it has very little or nothing to do with your health. Let's be honest. When I started using nicotine products in early high school, the last thing in the world I was worried about was my health. So, we'd have DARE come in, Moms Against Drugs, the truth. It didn't matter at the time. Whoever was talking about nicotine when I was in school. And all they would do is badger me about the health consequences. And remember, this wasn't vaping. This had to do with, don't smoke cigarettes, don't chew tobacco, which is what I started using nicotine with, cigarettes and tobacco. And I was never worried about it. I was like, I'm, 17, 18 years old. The chances of something happening to me are slim to none. I feel invincible. Nothing's ever going to go wrong. So their message when it came to fear mongering and telling me all the reasons why they think I should quit, why they think it's important that I quit, it never worked. It fell upon deaf ears. So I've created this company now when I spend a lot of time talking about the number one reason why you should consider quitting nicotine. And it has to do with freedom and control. And really the answer to that is it has to do with freedom. When you have a nicotine addiction, you become a slave to that addiction. You quite literally become controlled by that addiction, by that addictive voice, by that animal voice inside of your head. Our company logo at AddictionMindset is a hyena, for those of you guys that don't know, and that's to represent that animal voice inside of your head. Nicotine addiction is an obsession. You are obsessed with a drug. You are obsessed with a substance, and that substance and that drug will consume you. And if you try and ignore it, you're going to experience withdrawals. That's why so many of you guys who are addicted to vaping, especially those of you guys who use nicotine salts, whether it's in a vape or a ZYN pouch or whatever it is, a Zen pouch, every 30 minutes to an hour, you start to get withdrawals. And that's because you're not paying attention to that addiction. You're not paying attention to that addictive voice. You're not giving it the attention that it demands from you. And addiction demands a lot of attention from you. And just like any other drug addiction, nicotine addiction, it will start to eventually control your money. It will start to eventually control your relationships. It will eventually start to control your health. It will certainly start to control your time. And it will certainly start to control your energy and your motivation. And that's really what quitting was about for me. It was about getting back control and freedom in my life. Freedom as in the ability to go do something, to go hang out with friends, to go hang out with family, to sit through a family dinner and not have to worry about getting up to go get my next nicotine fix. I mean, it's so sad thinking back to so many family dinners and so many instances where I'd be in a good situation and I'd be like, I got to get out of here just so I can go get some nicotine. I got to go take a shower and have a dip, or go in the bathroom and pretend like I'm taking a dump so I can just hit some nicotine sticks. Whatever it was, it's sad when I think back how much that addiction controlled me and how little freedom I actually had. And I gave up my freedom in more ways than one. I think a lot of you guys can relate to the loss of financial freedom that you have when you have an active addiction, especially if you're in high school or college. You don't have much money to begin with, and when you're allotting $30 a week, maybe more if you're smoking weed too, right? I mean, I was spending easily $100 a week on weed and nicotine, especially at some points. I mean, I would chew a tin of tobacco a day, a disposable vape or two a week, and then, I'd buy 30, 40, $50 of weed on top of it. And that was a giving up of my financial freedom. When we talk about financial freedom, what we really mean is having money to be able to do whatever you want to do with that money. So your car breaks down and you need a new car. You want to move out of your parents' house. You want to buy a new camera so you can start a YouTube channel. You want to buy a better microphone so the sound quality is better. There were so many things that I wanted to do, and I couldn't accept that my addiction was in control of my money. It was in control of my finances, and it took away my financial freedom, my ability to invest into things like a new phone camera or a new microphone or whatever, things that could make me more money to get me more financial freedom because I was controlled by this addiction. And we also talk about freedom in a sense of freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it, irregardless of your health. And when we do talk about quitting nicotine in your health, I don't want you to think about the health consequences of vaping. They may or may not happen to you, but I do want you to picture, if you're concerned about your health, what does it look like if you become sick? What freedoms do you lose? So, for example, if you're in a hospital because you've been smoking black market THC cartridges and your lungs are damaged, you're going to miss time away from school. You're going to miss time away from friends. You're going to miss time away from work, maybe enough time to where you're put on a disability and you can't go back to work. So health, when our health becomes damaged from nicotine addiction, we're giving up another aspect of our freedom. And we're giving up a large aspect of our time. Instead of using time and investing it into things that you want to accomplish, whether that's doing good in school, playing sports, getting that new girlfriend or boyfriend, going hiking, I don't care what it is, making videos, whatever it is you're passionate about, whatever it is you want to accomplish in life is going to take time and energy. And addiction robs us of that time and that energy, especially nicotine addiction. So when we lose that freedom of time, losing the ability to do what we want when we want with our time, because that addictive voice in our head is drawing us towards, when are you going to get nicotine? How are you going to get nicotine again? Make sure you're in a situation where you can use nicotine again. You're sacrificing that freedom of time, your ability to be able to do what you want to do with your time, with your energy, because addiction will demand most all of your time and most all of your energy 365 days a year from you. So you lose freedom in the sense of finances, you lose freedom in the sense of your health, and you lose freedom in the sense of your time, energy, and you could even say in the sense of motivation. When you're addicted to nicotine or THC products, most of your motivation, most of your grit, most of your grind, your hustle is put towards getting your hands on those products. So you're working really hard and you're a hustler, you're getting money, you're smart to buy more drugs. And it's sad because if you were using that motivation and that time and that energy and that financial income that you're having to better yourself, you'd simply be creating more freedom with yourself, for yourself. But the more you invest that time and energy and that effort into the addiction, the more you're actually choking your own freedom. So the more you invest your time, energy, and money into nicotine or THC addiction, the more you're constricting your own freedom. It's a really screwed up cycle. The second thing that goes along with freedom is control. We all want to have control in life. No one likes being told what to do, especially you. If you liked being told what to do, you probably wouldn't be doing drugs. And remember, nicotine is a drug, THC cartridges is a drug, pills, whatever, alcohol, it's all, let's just call it drugs. Let's call it what it is. You don't like being told what to do. You don't like being controlled. yet you're letting this addiction, this nicotine addiction, control your life. So that's why you feel so bad about it. What was really making me feel bad during my active addiction in nicotine, especially in my younger years before I had health problems, those usually don't come till a little later in life, was my sacrifice of control. I was sacrificing my control to an addiction. I was letting an addiction control my life, control my time, control my energy, and I was sacrificing my freedom in each of those categories. Life where you sacrifice control, whether it's to another person or to another thing like addiction, is very, very depressing. When you view life as something that you can't control, when you go day to day viewing life as something that you can't control, when you view nicotine addiction as something that you can't control, life becomes very depressing because you love being in control. So those are probably the main two reasons why I quit using nicotine products, because I wanted my freedom back and I wanted to be the type of person in life that has control of my decisions, control of my time, control of my actions. In fact, to an extent that I now couldn't picture even working for someone else, because I never want to be told what to do again in my life. I never want to be in a position again where someone or something has any amount of control over me. I'm always trying to find out ways in which I can control my life. It's storming outside right now. What's a way I could make sure that I control the storm? Well, I can't, but I could buy a backup generator for my office. And then if the power goes out, I've now controlled that situation. I can keep working. I can keep filming. I can keep my food cold in the fridge. So it's all about thinking. It's all about thinking ahead. And the last primary reason that I'll say that goes along with confidence or with freedom and control is confidence. When you quit nicotine, you get your confidence back. When you've sacrificed control, when you've sacrificed freedom to an addiction, nicotine addiction or dab cart addiction or THC addiction or alcohol addiction, your confidence is severely damaged. And it's very, very hard to do well in life if you're not a confident person. You guys see on my TikToks and on my YouTube and on my Instagram how nasty people can be. They attack the way I talk. They attack the way I look. They attack the way I sound. They attack my message. But I have confidence. I have an unbelievable amount of confidence in myself. And I got that confidence by quitting an addiction. And that's one of the gifts that you get when you become sober. You get a boost of confidence. You get an ego boost. And you have to have that, because when life gets hard, when people get nasty, when you run into hurdles or obstacles, it's not nicotine that's going to make that better. It's not a dab pen that's going to make better, but it's going to be that confidence that you can dig deep and pull out of yourself. And addiction robs you of that confidence. Every time you relapse, every time you sacrifice one of your freedoms, whether it be your health, your finances, your time, your energy, whatever, every time you sacrifice control, it destroys your confidence. And when you don't have confidence, you're more willing to give up control. You're more willing to give up freedoms because you don't have the confidence in yourself, so you have to look to other people's input and other people's advice and other people's direction to restore or direct that confidence because you're lacking it. So please keep that all in mind. And I know some of you guys watching this are going to say, no, nicotine gives me confidence. No, the drugs give me confidence. The cocaine gives me confidence. It's not true. You're already a confident person. You just don't believe in yourself. I could only imagine what incredible things you would be accomplishing if you believed in yourself. I have faith in everyone who struggles from an active addiction. They're brilliant, empathetic people. They know how to hustle. They know how to grind. They have persistence, and they've gotten up 1,000 times after 1,000 of their worst days just to keep facing the next day. If only that individual that's addicted used those attributes towards accomplishing something that they wanted to accomplish in life, I guarantee you they would be accomplishing incredible things. I don't doubt that for 1 second. I'll see you guys in the next video where I talk about how I got into and how I got addicted to nicotine for those of you guys that care. I'll see you in the next video.